Hey, welcome to Bluejay Banter live post-game show here at Let It Fly. I don't know how I game is, but the Jays go down in overtime 68-66, lose their first Big East game. Just a crushing loss. We will have tons of comments. Lots of takes.
Yeah.
Later on, we're going to have Jalen Courtney-Williams, assistant coach, will join us, and we'll ask him things, what they saw, what they were trying to do there in that second half, and so forth. And then we're efforting Stephen Ashworth to join us as well. We'll see, on a night like this, it's a little tough, and plus it's a little difficult outside us because they've got a party here for
sure.
Doug McDermott. So
yeah,
it's crazy.
He's bombarded, so it's hard for him.
I've already ran into like 5 ex-players who are like, hey!
Yeah, for sure.
Like, God, it's great.
Yeah, for sure, man.
But anyway, thanks for watching on YouTube. If you can help us out, hit that subscribe button. Also, the live chat is ready to go. So go down there, chat your questions, your comments, whatever. We will answer them. So make sure and do that. We are sponsored by CareMinders Home Health Care, Equitable Bank, Godfather's Pizza, and Bluejay Banter. So you'll hear more about our great sponsors later on. So, Josh.
Yeah, I feel you, man. You don't gotta say nothing, man. There's this meme going around. I'm gonna replace the words of what it is, but like, it's a graph, and on one side is mess around, and the other side is find out. So it's about how much do you got to mess around to really find out what you want to find out.
Yeah.
And I say that to say that I just kind of feel like letting Villanova always plays us tough, but letting them hang around like that, we messed around and found out, bro. I mean, that's just simply what it is.
We left so many points on the table in the first half.
Yeah, we did. And from that perspective, maybe you see it different than me. Really, Villanova was getting everything that they really wanted to get. They just was missing easy little light bunnies. They was getting to the basket anytime they wanted, making easy post-ups, easy penetrations. It started to actually turn over once they were capitalizing in the second half.
Well,
to me,
they missed a few, but I thought our defense was sharper in the first half. They had Dixon more down in the post. He was making a lot of low post moves over Kalk. That's how they were scoring. That's the only way they were scoring.
Right.
We ran their three-point shooters off the line. I thought we did a great job there. We clogged up the middle on them. Yeah, they missed a couple, but for the most part, I thought we did an excellent job in that first half. They only shot 28%. 10% from three.
Yeah.
And they're a team that
I can respect that. I can respect that.
A ton of shots.
Mm-hmm.
So I was happy with our defense. I just kind of wonder, like, you're up 10 and you're like, man, we played terrible on offense. You know, like
right.
You almost, it's not said, but almost in the back of your mind, you're like, just make a few shots here.
I told
we got a 20-point win.
You mess around, you'll find out. And that's just literally just what happened. I think the biggest thing about that circumstance to me of the overtime loss was how they lost. You know, like, I just feel like Villanova was just getting whatever they wanted to get. And
especially in the second half.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I know that, like, you can say, I mean, it's all about perspective. You can say we missed shots, we could have did this and did that. You can't take. You got to give some credit to Villanova for the job that they did.
They did a great job on defense. They did.
Yeah,
especially in the second half again. They
exactly.
They really forced us into tough twos, but we made some uncharacteristic plays. I thought Baylor was not letting the game come to him. He was
the whole night.
To do too much.
The whole night. I think the moment was big. I mean, maybe we can talk about, Doug getting his jersey retired and just the hype around that. I don't know, but for some reason, I do agree. I felt like, I'm not going to say he was forcing it, but he was working like extra hard outside of the terms of his natural flow to get his money, Yeah. And it showed down the stretch when it counted the most. Even to me, and maybe he's seen it different, that last shot that he took to actually try to, like, have us win by one.
You know, I was right in line with that shot.
Yeah. What do you think?
It was right on. I thought it was going in.
I feel that.
About another inch, that thing goes over the rim and it's in.
Yeah, I feel that.
So, I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with about 10 other shots he took.
Yeah, but the problem is you take 10. But if you take 10 and get down to that one, it's like how you look at it. I look at it more so like the 10 you took. That extra one, it was a desperation. We needed it, but maybe if you kind of took the 10 and the different, you know.
There's so many. We missed 6 free throws in the overtime, didn't we?
I was shocked about that. I didn't think that was.
You know, I was a little. I thought Kalk maybe was a little tired.
Yeah.
You know, he missed some.
Yeah, but then again.
Overtime, we were only 2 or 3. We must have missed some at the end of regulation. Right?
Yeah, it's always good to hear the coach's corner because from my perspective, like I said, if you just put some elbows on Creighton, you're going to wear them down.
Let me correct that. So we missed 2 front end and 1 at once. And then Farabella missed 2. So we missed 4, but it could have been a potential 6 point.
For sure. Yeah, 100%.
You know, and I'm not saying they got to make every stinking one. But they've got to make 4 out of 6 there.
Yeah, when you lose, it adds up.
Yeah.
So, no, 100%. I just feel like for whatever it is, man, Villanova plays us tough. I'm not even going to talk about March. I know we'll get them. You know, we'll come back a different team and a better team. But right now, as it looks today, the conversation that we had about Dixon having Kalkbrenner's number, it seems like that's the case.
So I want to run this by you.
Yeah.
So I'm out talking with Chad Millard and Matt Norbert out there.
My guys. Yep.
Yep. And I said, hey, former players, if you don't know. And I said, hey, hear me out on this. You know, it was just a layup drill. It really was. There was no
100%.
No, like, on 1 out of maybe 8 possessions, there was some resistance. Other than that, they were just laying it in.
That's what I mean by getting what you want.
So I said, hey, what do you think about this? Having Baylor
guard Dixon. I figured.
Okay, now you got Kalk on probably their 4, but you know, maybe you can keep him in the lane more and just say at that point, you know what, we got to live with that guy hitting a 3. Yeah. Because nobody else had really hit.
You know,
sporadic.
Why I respect.
What did they do? They, you know, Burton was 1 at 2.
Yeah.
Bamba was 0-1. Armstrong was 1 for 1. Longino was 0 for 2. Hausen was 1 for 3. Hart was 0 for 3. So you see, you know, and you know, you think about it, it just seemed like he was draining them, but he only made 4-10.
Yeah, but he was getting looks.
Dixon.
He was getting looks.
But he was getting tight looks.
I'm just not that guy. Like, I can shoot bad, but if I'm getting the shots I want, you didn't do nothing to stop me.
Right.
That's the problem.
Well, how would you, what would you, if, and right away Matt Doherty goes, no.
Yeah.
I gotta go, hear me out.
I feel you.
Let's try it for a couple
Yeah, but the reason why
possessions.
I respect what you're saying is because we watched him guard a 4-man. We watched him guard a big at 2 different games, right?
Right.
So if it's not working with Kalkbrenner at that time, I mean, maybe why not try it? I mean, at least he'd get a foul.
I'm a little disappointed in Kalk, too. He let him back down into his spot several times, especially in the first half.
It's like Coke check.
You can't.
Here's my number.
Let him back down
you can't.
that easy.
And the thing is, I think Kalk got it in him somewhere, but like for whatever reason, when it comes to Dixon, it's like I don't know, man. Like he got his number.
And I think
that's just
really,
what I think.
You know, I kept saying to people around me in the first half when Dixon was going down low and getting those buckets, I said we're okay with that.
Yeah.
He's not going to hurt us from the 3.
Yeah.
They're not, you know, when we were up 10, they kept going down there, and I was like, they're not coming back if that's all they have.
Yeah.
But then what they did is went to an ISO game where our guards could not. Trey had a couple of stops. Baylor maybe had 1, but other than that, I think Fran maybe had 1. You know, it took, and what it did do, and we're struggling so mightily in the offensive end, it took Mason out of the game a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, he played 23 minutes.
And Mason
definitely took Trout out. He played 18.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah, and sorry to interject at the wrong time. But, I mean, even before Mason, as I say Dixon has Kalkbrenner's number, I say that believing that Kalkbrenner actually has the capabilities to do something about that. You're the defensive player of the year. And I know he stretches him to the 3-point lines, but what's the explanation for the back downs and the jump hooks and the turnarounds?
But I mean, once he stretched them to the 3 line, then their guards just went nuts.
Right. Yeah, and I understand that strategy. But that's when I feel like you put Baylor on them.
You
like
have to do something. I thought,
or at least try it.
I thought in overtime, throw a zone in there.
Yeah.
That just to mix it up a little bit. And Mac has done that a lot.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for sure. I don't think this is on Mac, though. I think this is.
I'm not saying it was on Mac. It was on everyone. There was nobody that didn't, at some point tonight, have a play or 2 or 3 or 4 that you were like, man, what's going on?
Did Kalk look tired to you?
Played a lot of minutes tonight. He played 41 minutes.
So I asked that to say, what about?
We got nothing from Fred.
That's what I was going to say. Like, I forgot about Fred. Like,
he fumbled that one out of bounds, and then he got put on the bench.
Can Fred? I think Fred is maybe athletic enough to at least give a look out there to Dixon. That's where I feel like it lacked for Kalkbrenner. Don't get me wrong. He got to own up and be accountable for his part. But, like, when you don't really got no help on the reserves, I really kind of feel like, to me, you got to have that dog. I'm looking for a dog somewhere. I'm looking for, like, sometimes, even though Baylor, I feel like he was, like, maybe forcing it a little more, I understand that his intentions was to be aggressive. I think if the forwards position and I say forward because I feel like Kalkbrenner is just so agile on the offensive end when it comes to playing, offense, and he guards the 5, obviously, and plays the 5. Yeah. But I feel like if our forwards can actually have that energy that Baylor had, that energy that Trey had, trying to be aggressive, Trey was trying to keep us in the game.
Yeah.
But, like, defensively, I feel like from the forward position, that's where I'm like most harping on, because just a look, just an effort, just an energy would have changed the whole ball game. Yeah. Dixon was running around proud, like, with some type of confidence. Like,
he was going to get tired, but that dude just kept on going, man.
Nah, but he got a slow-paced game. He's, like, methodical.
You're right.
I heard, like, and, he's a vet.
37 minutes.
Yeah, like, he's built for that. Like, he was walking around just kind of picking and choosing his spots. Before he hit that 3, I said he was going to get it right where he got it. He went straight to his sweet spot. And I'm not just, like, I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm not trying to just sit there and go in. I just honestly feel like I'm looking for that dog from the forward spot. It didn't help any at all that Fred King was kind of non-existent. And I also think that he got to give him something. It's what I'm trying to say. Yep. And I'm not taking away nothing from Villanova, because, like, Eric Dixon, the way he plays just makes his teammates,
I get, we say, we can't take anything away from
Villanova. Yeah.
Okay, I get that, but if we can't beat Villanova, then we're not going to be very good this year.
Yeah, and UConn lost, but they wasn't at home, right?
No.
We lost at home. And if you can't take...
Marquette lost on the road, too.
Man, if you can't take care of your house, then you don't got a home.
The 3 preseason favorites all lost in the first night.
Man. Maybe it's
That's what league is, though. That's what league is.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Now we got to go to Marquette, and gosh, now we have 10 days off. Like, I know as players, you get right back in there.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. I'm interested to see, JCW, just because, like, maybe he can give us another take from a coach's perspective. I'm interested to know what looks they were looking for. Was it more so effort, and how he sees it? Because I mean, like, it's his job to advocate optimistically, but it's something called an eye test, and we just kind of look. I'm not going to throw that S word out there. We just didn't play tough enough.
Hey, by the way, we have a chat rolling here. We got some comments. So that chat is sponsored by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. 2 great locations: Pierce Street location in Elkhorn, and just south of Schwab headquarters in the Old Mill. They're Equitable Bank. They take the headache away of banking. They have personal checking made easy. So check them out today. That's Equitable Bank. Doug Nutgar, president, a huge Jays fan. So if you're looking for a new bank, that's the place to go. They're the bank of Bluejay Banter. All right, I want to go to some of these chats.
Okay.
I got here. Here's one that I shouldn't have, but I responded to.
Here's what it is, right?
Said the crowd was awful tonight.
What game was they watching?
Yeah, I mean, People were leaving when it went to overtime. I got to admit.
No. That's facts.
They went and stood at the top because it looked like it was over.
You know what? Who said that, first of all?
Easton.
Easton?
Yeah.
Hey, thank you for shouting us out on the chat and saying that. Now, this is what I would say about the crowd. I feel like the crowd did the best it could for what it was, but the crowd ain't got nothing to do with the the players got to play.
No noise the whole game.
No, it was rocking in there.
What game are you at?
But
maybe he was watching on TV. It doesn't translate.
Or if he was in the arena, there were some people grabbing coats, figuring it was over. Well, I can feel you on that if that's what's happening.
After 10 o'clock, some people have to get to work.
Yeah, no doubt.
About West O.
I'm gonna just blame it on that. But I think the crowd was loud. I thought the crowd was great, and that's the thing. And I'm not trying to be say what's right, but I thought that the Blue Jay fans showed up and showed out tonight.
Yeah, it was a great crowd.
Yeah.
Martin, he's a good guy, longtime Jays fan. He said just an awful game, and he went through the litany of things and just said, hey, bad free throw shooting, outmatched physically in the second half, and again, that was more the design of Villanova's plays, so to speak. But hey, let's get another break in here, and then we'll get to Coach's Corner.
Yeah, let's get back to some of them chats, though, too.
Yes, we'll get those later. Go ahead and keep chatting. Our title sponsor is CareMinders Home Health Care. Huge Jays fans, we want to thank them for their sponsorship. When you're in need of care for your injured, ill, or senior loved one, reach out to CareMinders today. Their agency is comprised of certified caregivers who have many years of experience. You will receive versatile, flexible, and customized care for your comfort, peace of mind, and well-being. Give them a call today, 402-532-1383. That's 402-532-1383. And make sure, you may not need their services now, but maybe down the road. Good time to go and check them out at caremindersnebraska.com. Check them out there. It's Coach's Corner. We're here with Jalen Courtney-Williams.
My guy.
He drew the short straw tonight.
Sure did. Forced to spend time with you after a loss.
Yeah.
Man, because Timmy.
You don't want to spend time with anybody after a loss, do you?
No question.
Hey, thanks for being on, man.
I appreciate it.
Yes. Go ahead.
Just give us your thoughts. I mean, tale of two halves, right?
What do you say?
Yeah.
What do you say? I thought in the first half we came out, we executed some things on both sides. Defensively, we put together a plan to keep Ashworth out of the bully ball, post-up stuff. I think we executed that stuff pretty good. I thought we took care of Dixon the best we could a little bit, especially
you were
getting him off the
probably
three-point
okay
line.
with him just taking some twos down.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean? For sure.
Yeah.
We, and pick and pop big guys are our kryptonite a little bit because of our drop coverage.
Right.
But I thought we contained them in the first half, and we missed free throws. We went on a scoring drought late in the game, and it just got away from us, man.
Yeah.
Did you in the second half? They just went isos. They just pulled Kalk away from the basket and went one-on-one, and they were. I mean, it was. Guys are playing hard, but it was a layup draw at times. They were just laying it in with hardly any.
I'll tell you what happened. So Dixon hits 2 threes in that second half, and then all of a sudden Kalkbrenner's he's afraid to go back to his help position by the rim. So now he's letting guys get free runs, and handoffs and pick and rolls. And
so was he supposed to go and get the help? Was he supposed to be?
Just normal coverage. But when Dixon hits those threes, all of a sudden we're a little bit off balance.
Is there any thought to we were talking, Josh, because we've seen it in some of the games, maybe switching up the defenses, or maybe putting say a Baylor on him and having Kalk kind of stay back and maybe live with Longino, who didn't have a good night from three.
Yeah. We, there's games we did that. I think you look at the matchups against Nebraska.
Yeah, but that center's a little bit different than Dixon.
A little bit different. Dixon's a load. Dixon's a load on the low block, and him adding the 3-ball to his game the way he has the last 2 years, it makes him tough. Makes him a really tough cover, and they live by the rim in those post-up scenarios, and you want to help with Kalk as much as you can, but you also don't want to give up threes. And you probably don't know this, but they are top 4 in the country in the amount of shots that are threes. And a lot of it is because they do that bully ball by the rim and they draw kick for open threes. So, I think we wanted to take away the 3 to give ourselves a chance to win. And they still got a few of them.
No
Yeah, I
doubt.
mean, it's not like they shot 50% from three or anything like that. You know, it's just that they were timely. Let's put it that way.
No question. And then, toward the end of the game, I think we scored 6 points in 11 minutes.
Right.
So, it's going to be tough to win any game where you go on a scoring drought.
Yeah, because I thought the first half our defense was really good.
Yeah.
Really made them work hard.
And there were stretches in the second half where we got, multiple stops in a row. You go down, you don't score, and then they put one on you. We got to figure some things out offensively. I thought the physicality really bothered us, which is it's kind of the MO now.
I was just saying that.
Yeah.
Like, from my perspective, I feel like the first half, I think that the schemes were good, but I still feel like they really was getting what they wanted, and it kind of showed that they were getting what they wanted and made adjustments to make it happen in the second half.
Right.
But it was basically from that physicality thing. I just kind of feel like when it comes to our team right now, like, I try to stay away from the word soft because I don't think we're soft. I just think we lack toughness across the board, and it shows in, like, isolated positions, and it doesn't help when you're 7 foot. And I'm just keeping it real. Yeah. That's just how I see it.
Well, Josh, what happens, we don't foul. So you think about
that makes sense.
You think about the way we play and the way we practice.
Yeah. Playing without fouling.
Yeah, that stuff kind of goes against everything that we do every day.
And it can be a blessing and a curse.
For sure.
Okay.
So then when you go into the game, sometimes those, whether it's legal or not, that stuff is kind of a shock to the system. You hope to adjust to it as the game goes on.
Right.
And as the season goes on.
Yeah.
But right now, I thought the physicality really bothered us. It bothered our pace and movement and cuts, and we ended up taking, some tougher shots than we probably needed to take.
Yeah. Like desperation trying to make a big play.
Yeah.
I feel you.
And as the game goes on, like every player would. You've been there. I've been there. I don't know if you've been there. But,
he ain't been there. Well, he was there watching us.
Got it.
But he was there.
Got it. But as the game goes on, you want to make a play. As a competitor, you want to make a play, and it just didn't swing our way.
It wasn't for lack of effort. I mean,
no.
No, let me ask you this. And I kind of asked him about it, and like he understood where I was coming from, but to me, I feel like Dixon walks around with an aura like he's got Kalkbrenner's number, and it's because of that 3-ball that he added to his game, and him kind of looking at it like a pick your poison thing. How do you keep Kalk motivated, even though like there can be slight disadvantages with his strengths in that circumstance?
Well, you look at the totality of a game. He got scored on a couple times in the post, but just stick to the game plan. Just stick to the game plan. Don't lose confidence in what you're doing and who you are and what the game plan is.
For sure.
And there was a stretch in that second half where he was dominant, where Kalk was dominant around the rim, defensively and offensively.
Yeah.
But again, when he hit that next three,
right.
I think it really knocked us off balance. Not just Kalkbrenner, but us.
But the team.
Yeah.
I mean, you play so hard to get yourself back, and somebody just take the life out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And again, I think you get stops in a row, and all of a sudden you go on a drought, an offensive scoring drought, and it makes those defensive possessions,
no doubt,
gets the pressure that much higher. And I think that's what happened. So now you're worried about the three.
I appreciate your perspective because, like, I always say what I think in my perspective, but like I ask the questions according to my perspective for what I seen.
Sure.
And I told you, like, you do. Well, I told Tim that you do a great job of talking from the inside, the huddle. It just kind of balances out, especially for those out there who maybe want to ask these questions but never get to talk to us.
Right.
So no, it's a good. And the thing is, I appreciate about you is like you don't put a Band-Aid over it. I mean, Murph doesn't. You guys come up here and be honest.
Right.
It's delivered.
I can't lie to you guys, man. You guys know.
Yeah, you're honest.
You guys know.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, here's the deal. We love our team.
Yep.
Our team has some things that some of the best things on any team I've ever coached. I think we really move the ball. We really shoot the ball. I think we play with 3-point guards on the floor at the same time. And,
crazy.
When Farabello goes in, that's another one.
Yeah.
So our offensive IQ is, I think, really, really special.
Yep.
Defensively, we have really, really great moments.
Yep.
And then there's some moments that we have to put together moving forward. But tonight's not going to derail our season.
No, it's not at all. Not at all. Yeah.
We're gonna hit the film room. Guys going home for Christmas break after practice tomorrow.
I was gonna say, is it better because like you always say, oh well, we'd rather play a game in 2-3 days. I kind of got a feeling that after tonight, this is better to just
it'll
let it go. A break and then
it'll be good for everybody to recharge, get away from each other. I'm sure.
You've been around each other for a while.
Yeah, Stephen Ashworth is sitting over in the corner. I think he's probably tired.
I ain't never seen him dreading the interview. No, he don't look like that, y'all. I was just
He's
playing.
a good guy. There you go, Coach. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Not easy to come after a game like that. I know it. So.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for your perspective, bro.
That segment is sponsored by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Proudly serving Nebraska since 1882. Take the headache away from banking. They have personal checking made easy, no minimum balance, free online bill pay, electronic statements, auto transfers to your Equitable savings account, and Equitable Bank debit card. So all those features plus the best customer service in banking in the area. So check them out. That's Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. 2 great locations, one in Elkhorn and one in Old Mill. So thanks to Doug for helping us out with this show. All right, now we're going to move on to our player profile. Steven, we've always been on beautiful occasions.
Absolutely.
This one's a little tougher. Tough one. What's your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a tough-fought battle. The electric atmosphere in CHI was awesome, and it's always fun playing games like that. And as a player, you wish that the outcome would have been something different, but at the same time, there's a lot to take from it positively and then also to learn from it as we watch the film and, kind of see areas that we can improve moving forward.
So for my question is, what was the difference between the first half and the second half that you've seen from your perspective as a floor general that changed that allowed them to come back with the momentum? People was high-fiving. Y'all was doing good with the game plan. I don't think y'all ever went away from it, but, what changed?
Yeah, I think that ultimately, the pace of the game changed. I think that we weren't pushing it quite as fast as we did in the first half. And I think that, that's the type of basketball where we're playing at our best is, kind of kicking it ahead or really, caulk sealing in the paint early in possessions and kind of finding those mismatches. And so, and some of that, it comes down to you got to get stops in order to run like that in some cases, and so they were able to get a few consistent buckets. But, we had opportunities where we had multiple stops in a row, but we had to really just make sure that we kept our pace high. And, sometimes it's just the flow of the game that you want to make sure that you control it. But at the same time, I think that with how skilled we are in space, I think that playing with that, kind of edge and that pace is really beneficial to us. And I think they did a good job of slowing it down a little bit in that second half.
Makes sense.
We've had 2 games now where the other team has really controlled the pace, and we've lost both of them, right?
Yeah.
So what have you learned about that from a point guard's perspective? Do you look at wow, there's really nothing I can do because they're the ones slowing it down on defense, or do you say maybe I could have done this or that, or how in your mind, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we can only control so much, and some of it is.
Villanova's always played like that.
Yeah,
I know it's your first year in the league, but they've always played like that. They've always played just like they did tonight.
Yep, absolutely, and we knew that coming in. And so I think from my perspective, there's some things that, especially with how we play defensively, that we're not going to, really try to deny or, force turnovers. It allows teams to slow it down a little bit at times, and so it's a little bit out of, your control on that end. But then, when we get the stops, it's important to still make sure that we're getting quality looks in transition. But when teams really, really slow it down, you also have to make sure that you're getting quality looks every time because it can be draining to guard for 30 seconds and then go down and shoot one in 5 and then have to guard another 30 seconds. So you got to be kind of mindful of it, especially from the point guard position. You don't want to be playing defense for a minute and a half straight without, some good offensive opportunities.
Crazy sequence at the end of the regulation. I mean, Mason, I thought from live action, I thought he saved that ball.
Yeah, yes.
And then he hits a 3, and then they'd already blown the whistle, and
yeah,
that was
tough.
A bubble burster right there because that would have been the game.
Yeah, Baylor hit a big shot there, and Mason had a great effort, and Mason did a great job all night of doing that, getting us extra possessions and really fighting down there.
He played his role, bro.
He did a good job. He did a really good job, and he hit some big shots and defended when his number was called, and so those are the type of plays that you wish everybody had the 100%, but that's why we play the game.
So I know that we definitely lean on Kalkbrenner a lot, obviously Defensive Player of the Year accolades and things like that, but even he needs somebody to back half his back, from a Fred King perspective. I didn't really see much from him today. Was it a matchup problem, or what was the deal with Fred?
Yeah, I mean, every game's going to call for some different rotations and different schemes and plans, and I think that, Kalk is so dependable down there, whether it's his voice or whether it's just his multiple efforts.
Right.
Guarding the three-point line, but also then, protecting the rim when any of us get beat. And so I think that at times it was probably just, Fred had his moments out there to where, he showed some really good things, but the matchup is a tough matchup. He's a really good player, one of the best players in the Big East. And he gives,
Dixon.
Some mismatches out there, and it's tough to guard. And so I think that just the veteran presence of Kalk was probably what, kept Fred back a little bit tonight.
Yeah.
Last question, we'll let you get out of here. You're a shooter.
Yeah.
Okay. I know you haven't shot the ball the way I've seen you shoot the ball through your career.
Yeah.
Or the way. How frustrating is that to you? I mean, you seem like you're still taking your shots when they're there and in rhythm to me.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, personally, I don't love going by the title of shooter. I want to be a playmaker.
I knew it.
You are a really good shooter.
Yeah. But I think guys look at Trae Young and they don't just say that he's a shooter, right? And
so playmaker.
All right, I'll never use that term again. Sorry.
I mean, I want to be a great shooter, but I also don't want that to just be.
Shooter.
Thank you.
Yeah, tell him to put some respect on your. No, I'm playing.
I'm just saying. It's. I think we talk a lot about what brings us joy in playing basketball. That's why we play the game, right?
Amen.
It's to bring joy, and so it's I have joy in making everybody else around me better. And in some cases, that's me spacing the floor and providing my shooting prowess. But at other times, I hope that I can still impact the game, whether it's defensively or whether it's
even if you ain't putting them up,
floor general, even if it's not shooting. And
Respect.
So, that's kind of not trying to correct or anything, but I think that's my identity that.
All day long,
I take pride in.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, shooting with confidence, absolutely.
Yeah.
When it's there.
Do you feel like coming in here, taking up point guard duties? You already knew obviously when you're coming in, pretty good team. Do you feel like any added pressure when things aren't going? Not necessarily shooting, but just anything like that. Like, man, I could have done this better. But I know you're the first person in practice to say, hey, that was on me. I needed to do X, Y, and Z. Mac doesn't even need to tell you.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, I think pressure's interesting. I take pressure as a privilege, right? And some people, we mentioned don't put too much pressure on yourself, but I think I've always played great under pressure. And so, in my circumstance, I like to be in the moment and not stress over it, but just tell myself, hey, this is important. This matters. And I think it elevates my focus, elevates everything around me. And so, I take pride in how good this team can be. And, we're going to have opportunities to get better after every single game, right? Win or loss. And, I think the coaching staff does a great job of, mentioning that, hey, we're going to be, process oriented. We're not going to, fret too much whether the results are one way or the other way. We got to make sure that we stay with our process. And so, moving forward, I think that's the way that we just have to keep going, and it'll be great. This team's going to do something special, and it's going to take some adjustment on all of our parts, learning some other things that we can improve, and it's a long season to go.
Sure.
It is, bro. Yeah.
And you have practice tomorrow, then you can kind of take a little time off, reset, and come back and get ready for Marquette. That would be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, bro, from my perspective, he gonna run your ass. I remember I used to get back after break and like, oh man, yeah.
You gotta make sure everybody's
Because Coach Mack always think about, man, you must have ate a lot of turkey, Josh, or something, you know.
Yep.
Just always plotting that I was just chilling. I was like, man, I promise you I was running. I wasn't running at home. But he got us in shape though, man. I'm sure y'all be ready. It was a tough loss to me. There obviously was I think I appreciate your perspective and coach's perspective because you know what you got to do to fix it.
Yeah.
It's not like y'all just oblivious and y'all just harping on, man, we wasn't hitting threes. I plug my ears when fans be talking to me and say certain perspectives because I'm like, no, I played. Like, it ain't what you think, you know? And that's half of the reason why he put me up here. Also, I hope you love me too, right?
I love you.
Amen. Good. But the way you, like, your poise with that, it's not just about your conduction. Like, it's an authentic perspective.
Yeah.
And that brings hope to the future and for people to understand what needs to be corrected for this game, but the season ain't over.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
respect, bro.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, 100%,
hey,
man.
Merry Christmas.
Hey, get that to my
guys.
man, Jalen, man. I was supposed to dap him, but, you know, that's what we do.
Yep,
Yeah.
got you. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks. That's point guard Stephen Ashworth coming in on Player Profile tonight. We want to thank him very much for doing that. That was awesome. Hey, we got to get going here and wrap up this show. So we were hoping to nab Doug, but Doug's depressed like everybody else. Right? Is that fair?
That's fair.
Yeah. We'll get him at some other point of time. But it was great seeing players out there tonight, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Justin Carter,
Ethan Raggi, Ross Farini.
Ross Farini. What?
Yeah, we always see my man Ross. But I give you more.
Ross.
Austin Chapman.
Austin Chapman, I got to talk to him a lot. That was great.
Who else did I see out there?
Chad Millard and Matt Dorwart. That was great.
Yep, it was good to see him.
I want to have a little more chat with Raggi when I leave here.
For sure.
But anyway, worst call of the game.
Honestly, the worst call was a couple of no calls. To be honest with you, from my perspective, and I'm not a biased guy where like I want to win so bad, like especially we have an obligation. Like we are fans of the Jays, but we have an obligation to call it like we see it. But I am saying that to say Trey went hard to the basket, nose to the goal, and sometimes the ref will call a driving foul on one of our players, but wouldn't call it the same exact call on the other end. So I say the worst call of the game was a no call when calls could have been had on an offensive possession for us.
Yeah. So we still got, I'm going to finish the worst call. So obviously blowing the whistle there when Mason saved that one, that would have been the difference of the game.
Respect.
But I thought when they went to the monitor, I thought the ball was in Baylor's hand when the shot clock went off.
I was so distraught. I didn't see what you see.
Furious,
I didn't. Yeah.
He was upset. I was surprised they didn't overrule that. And then Matt really got into I think in a different situation. He might have got technical. He really lit into him because Trey just went straight up and they called a foul and he's getting absolutely mugged down the other end. They're not calling it.
I'm trying to tell you, that's the worst call for me. Yeah, I feel you, man. Tough loss.
So back to the chat. Another guy chimed in.
Yeah.
In-game atmosphere is brutal. And he goes, it sounded like a library on TV, so we were right. Easton wasn't at the game.
Respect. Respect.
Because the announcers were talking about it. I got to watch the replay. I'll figure that part out.
I think
and here's the deal. In a game like that, it's hard to get too excited because we didn't have any run. You know what I mean?
you kind of feed off the players. But I think where they're coming from is the perspective of, like, conservative, controlled, like, hype versus authenticity during the whole game. Like, if you watch different conferences like ACC, you got the Cameron Crazies. They constantly going up and down on their own. Maybe they're speaking about, like, we should just be consistent regardless of the rally or not. I don't know. I'm just assuming. But if you were there, it was loud. Like, I'm not saying the whole game.
They're saying the announcer shouldn't have to ask people to be loud. I think Jake just does that. I don't think he has to do it. It was fairly loud.
Yeah.
We were going to come out from a timeout.
Maybe it can be louder. I'm gonna just be optimistic and say,
I don't know.
You know, maybe it can be louder.
This is a great one here. Don't duck my question. That's what he said.
Who? You or me?
No, both of us. No. The guy said to us.
Oh, yeah. I'm about to say, I ain't ducking nothing.
He said, okay, my question is,
throw these hands.
How y'all lose to a team missing the legend Jay Wright and their best player, Justin Moore?
I'm going to tell you how.
Let me stop right here.
Rewind everything we just said.
Stop right here.
Okay, go ahead.
Jay Wright's been gone a couple years, okay? This isn't like Jay Wright just didn't show up today, okay?
Right.
So stop with that. That's like, well, we don't have Doug playing for us, And
so he
Justin
said,
Moore, Justin Moore, in my opinion, is not their best player anymore. Ever
Dixon.
since the injuries, he's slowed down. He's not the same player he was last year. You could see it.
Yeah.
I think Dixon is clearly their best player.
Yeah, for facts. Yeah, my response is just going to be, just watch this podcast back.
Yeah,
You'll learn every reason of how we lost the game.
We lost the game.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, for sure.
How did Villanova lose to Penn?
Exactly. How did UConn lose to Seton Hall?
Yeah, exactly. So
I feel it. I don't even consider that trolling. It's just we lost.
Unsung hero tonight, I think it was Mason.
For sure.
I think he gave some energy out there when things weren't going well.
I respect that.
I thought at the last 3 seconds, Arabello had a chance. He cut. Arabello wasn't ready to bounce it. If he had been ready, it would have been a lay-in.
I know, man. I agree with you. I think Mason is very consistent on his role. The times that he was in the stretch was a big difference maker. It either added momentum to our side for an offensive opportunity, or at least it gave us some type of look on defense, but mainly offense because that's what he do.
All right, I'm going to make one more point that we're going to get out here.
Yep.
Okay, so we've had 2 rock fights so far.
3. No, 2, because one of them wasn't even a fight.
Yeah, that wasn't really a rock fight. We just missed a lot of shots because Matt was happy with the shots we got.
I feel you. Yeah.
But we've lost them both.
Well,
I felt last year's team could win those rock fight games.
But
it concerns me.
But
I know it's early,
remember,
but
I said I can't talk about that ship leaving no more.
Yeah, I know. It concerns me that we've lost 2 now.
Yeah.
To not the best teams in the country. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Villanova's good, but certainly UNLV's not in that range. Okay. And we've lost 2 games, and that concerns me.
Well, the reason why is not even about them being the best or not. It's the style of play that they're bringing to us.
I'm just saying that concerns me. I'm really concerned.
I told you, if you put forearms and physicality over a course of 2 halves against Creighton basketball, you got a chance right now. Coach said it perfect. Like, people are starting to key on that bully ball and that physicality like that.
It's not going to stop.
So what are we going to do about it?
I don't know.
I'm not going to use that S word.
Sure that we have the
I'm not trying to say soft.
The players don't seem to be handling it very well right now.
Well, because they probably didn't anticipate that.
Well, it's happened now a few games.
Now, and coach, matter of fact, every coach.
Alabama is probably the worst case scenario because they don't play that way.
Yeah, right, exactly. And we are a team that does play without fouling, but I'm not saying we got to foul, but maybe we got to start being a little physical. Maybe we're going to have to move some furniture or something like that.
Yeah, especially if they're going to let stuff go.
For sure.
Because now we've had 2 games of Big East refs, and they've let everything go.
Yeah.
Well, I take that back. They called everything tight against Alabama.
Yeah, but
let everything go here,
I watched today. There was times where, even on the other end, I said, ooh, Creighton fouled him. No call. On our end, ooh, Villanova fouled him. They letting you play. So I just kind of feel like there has to be some cultivation in the area of not like I'm gonna just say dog. Like I said, like Villanova probably got practicing with Bud Crawford or something, because I just keep saying that, man. Yeah. Like, we just need the dog. I like Baylor Shireman because he walk around with that chip. Right. I like Trey Alexander because he gonna try to be aggressive regardless. But now I gotta correlate to your team. Steven is a nice guy.
I warn people. Let's hang in there. We're going into Marquette. They're going to be madder than heck after losing yesterday. So, it doesn't happen for 10 days. Hey, we could lose that game. We could be 0-2. We've been 0-2 other years and come back and won the league. So just settle. Everybody chill.
Yeah, because our fans are good at that.
Oh, no. Yeah, chilling?
No, good at like, oh, man, like, it's over.
It's over.
But I'm just saying, though, maybe, like, our identity is how well we space the floor and how well we shoot the 3. And we got that secret sauce with Kalkbrenner inside. But, like, we need to add a little seasoning on our defense when it comes to toughness. It don't even got to be, like, the assignment. Just put some physicality behind.
Do you tape the games? Do you go back and watch them?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Go back
100%.
and watch this. I think you'll be surprised. I think because they're right down in front of me. Of course, you have a great view too, but they're right down in front of me, and I thought we didn't do as much of it in the second half as we needed to, but I thought the first half we did.
I mean, the more you guys talk about it, the more I feel like we did stick to our script of what we were supposed to do. And, yeah, I did say that they got what they wanted, but maybe I just seen that in the sense of, like, they just stuck to what they was trying to do, and it paid off. Yeah. That's all I'm basically saying.
All right, so Marquette is December 30th. That's a week from this Saturday, so we got some time off to all take a breath.
For sure.
Enjoy Christmas with your family.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, buddy.
You too. Hey, to you guys out there, thank you to the guys in the chat. Sorry we didn't get to everybody.
Yeah.
I believe in Coach McDermott. I believe in his staff. And I hope everybody watching, and I hope they put this in perspective of the physicality.
Yep, absolutely.
So,
all right, man. Thanks so much. Again, hit that subscribe button. Everybody out there, have a Merry Christmas. We'll be back on the 30th. Right here for a watch party, right here.
Yes, sir.
At Let It Fly for the Marquette game. So come and join us and then listen to our show right here live, right here at Let It Fly. So we'll see ya. Merry Christmas.